Have you ever wondered why in some months of the year you buy some foodstuff very cheap? In fact, the market people will be begging you to come and collect some of their produce. Then in the next month, you go to the market and now your customer will tell you that the price is no longer the same. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing the Nigerian food calendar. This is trying to extray the different months of the year that each foodstuff is cheap. So you can get them in affordable prices at each of these months I'm going to mention. If you want to get your favorite fruits, your foodstuff, your favorite foodstuff cheaper, either for storage or for those that want to go into food business, this is a good video for you. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, you are most welcome. This is Aninri, where we discuss everything surrounding lifestyle, including health and food. Click on the subscribe button by your right hand side, turn on the post notification bell so that each time we upload, you'll be the first to see our posts. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always sticking by. The first on my list is tomatoes. You can actually get tomatoes very cheap from December to May. So if you want to store tomatoes, maybe blend it and store in your freezer and all that, you should get it from December to May. So if you have not gotten tomatoes to stock up for this year, you are on a long term. So prepare your mind for this year/next year so that you won't be left behind. As the months progresses, so it becomes more expensive. So the earlier you get them, the better. So palm oil is cheaper from the month of March to May. It is usually short. The period of abundance is usually short. That is that first rain that comes. It has a way of ripening the palm fruits. So when the palm fruits are ripened, the farmers process them within that March to May. So it becomes so cheap. So if you want to go into palm oil storage business, this is the best time to get from the market and store. You can get a 75 cl of palm oil now as low as 1,500 naira. But I bet you in the next 2 months you can't get it for less than 2,500 naira. Everybody in Nigeria can relate, and even those in diaspora. So even if you are in diaspora and you want to get your foodstuff, you have a particular foodstuff you want to get. So this video will also guide you on when to get them, and it will be cheaper for you. The other one we are going to talk about is yam. Yam is also something that if you have a large family, you can buy in bulk and store. So you can get this from July to December. You can buy in a heap and store. Air it, keep it in an airy place. It can last as long as 6 months to 1 year. So check it from time to time and pick the ones that are not so good at that time to consume. So yam you can store from July to December. You will get very good deal that time. After then, yam will skyrocket and only the rich will be eating. And if you watch that period from July to December, it's actually the harvest time. Usually that period between rainy season and dry season. Like melon, Egusi soup is a very popular soup in Nigeria. So if you want to buy this and store so that all around the year your family will enjoy Egusi soup without breaking bank, get it from August to October every year. So if you want to get Egusi soup, the melon seed cheap, so you get it within that time. And that time also, let me chip in, that is when watermelon is also cheap, because they are all in the same family. Their maturation period and everything, they are all similar, so they mature at the same time. So watermelon also will be cheap within that period. So if you go to buy watermelon and they charge you within August and October, tell them it is no longer scarce. Tell them there is abundance of watermelon. Another one is ogbono. Ogbono is gotten from a tree called ujiri in my place. I will put the English name, or if tell me what you call it in your language. the three ogbono is gotten from, but I'll put the English name on the screen. It's cheaper between June and September. That's when the tree brings the fruits and the fruit is matured enough to use for ogbono. So if you are planning to get ogbono for storage, get from June to September. But mind you, if you get it within that period, it won't be that dry, so you will need to dry it for some time before you can store it and keep it for a long time. Likewise, the egusi I mentioned earlier on, if not, it might get spoiled. So bring it out from time to time to air it so that it doesn't spoil. One is crayfish. So crayfish is gotten from all these riverine areas. So from enquiries, it is said that at the end of the rainy season, when the river starts drying up, they bring up the crayfish, the fresh crayfish, to the bank, to the river bank. So that's what makes crayfish cheaper from July to September. So actually last year I bought crayfish. That was my first time of trying out this bulk buying of crayfish. So I was so happy I did that. Even up till now, I'm still eating the crayfish I bought that period. I bought them for 5,000. I bought them for 4,500. So, and the worth now is over 12,000 naira for that same quantity. So you can see the amount of money I've saved from just buying in bulk. And the interesting part is that you don't need a freezer or a fridge to store crayfish. You can store it just in a tight container. So I stored mine in a tight container, just aired it, not sun drying, just air it a bit and put it in a tight container. You can use it throughout the year or until it becomes cheap again. So not cheap until it becomes affordable, because nothing is cheap again in Nigeria. The economy is hitting everybody hard. The next one is okpa. My Enugu people can relate, or anybody in Nigeria. Most people love okpa. So okpa is usually cheaper between September and November, and that is the same period that you can get beans cheaper too. So most of these foodstuffs that are similar, okpa and beans, they are legumes. Most of the foodstuffs that are similar, they tend to become cheaper at the same time because their harvest time are usually the same. So like beans and okpa, they become cheaper at the same time. Millet, you can get it cheaper from August to October. Millet is used for swallow and for making pap and all those. It's very nice to have in the house. If you have it with corn, and you can use it to make pap and swallow and other beautiful things. It's very nutritious too. So if you want to buy and store, especially if you have a big family, or you want to go into foodstuff business, that is a good time to harvest and keep. The next one is groundnut. Groundnut is also cheap from September to November. That is the harvest period. So if you want to buy for reselling, or for, I have a lot of people that I know that are into that business of reselling groundnut in most of these northern states, like Taraba and so on. Groundnut is actually very cheap, especially that period. You know, one thing about Nigeria is that one, storage is a bit difficult for a lot of farmers. Difficult in the sense that, like now, tomatoes, there is no standard way of preserving fresh tomatoes in Nigeria. Like now, tomatoes will be in abundance and everybody will be eating and selling and all that. Have you ever seen, I don't know, I think I've heard of a company that have started that form of storage of fresh tomatoes, but it's not a common thing in Nigeria. So that storage culture is something that needs to be looked into, and if you should harness that aspect of agriculture, you will make a lot of money from it. The next one is onions. That one is another gold anytime it becomes scarce. I can remember a time we bought a pinta of onions for as high as 12,000 naira. It's usually during that Christmas period, like December period. So onions, if you want to store onions, you can buy from August to September. August, September, October. That's the best time to buy onions and store in case it becomes expensive. But one thing about onions is that the price is not usually high for a long time. So you can just buy a small quantity, store that you use within that December period, and you are good to go. This is a type of video you like. Let me know in the comment section and tell me any food stuff that you want me to throw more light on how to get and all that.